Hey guys, welcome back and thanks again for tuning in. If you follow me on Insta stories, you probably have noticed that I cook a lot, or just in general eat a lot. I post about food, both when I'm cooking at home and when I'm out at dinner with friends. And I'm just constantly getting questions about what I buy at the grocery store, how I make certain recipes, and you've already seen me cook some of those recipes on YouTube. I think I've done 2 recipes now. It's a little more legwork than you'd think shooting recipes because you gotta get the zoomed in shot, you've got to get shots of me cooking. It's just a lot of multitasking and it's pretty tough. But this I can definitely do with ease. So I've actually had a request from you guys to do a haul, like a grocery store haul. I've done hauls with clothes. Basically a haul is just showing off what I've purchased. For the sake of time and just kind of to show you what I eat on a regular basis, here's sort of what I'm buying on the regular. So I'm gonna start with the back because it's the healthier section, I think. We'll see. Okay, so the first thing we've got, I literally just came from the grocery store, by the way, so this is all fresh. First thing, we've got some Brussels sprouts. So I have 2 ways that I like to eat Brussels sprouts. One is just to roast them. It's obviously very easy to do so. You just cut them in half, split them a few times depending on how big they are. Mix them in the bowl with olive oil, salt and pepper, garlic, put them in the oven, and then you can sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top once you're done. You can also make them with a balsamic glaze. You can add pancetta for a saltier version. There are just so many good ways to make roasted Brussels sprouts. But another way I like to eat them is in a salad by using a mandolin and shaving them really thin. So definitely check out some recipes for that if you're looking to spice up your salad routines. It's a great way to add extra crunch and just a different flavor and texture to those salads. But I don't always get Brussels sprouts, but lately I've been sort of on a kick of doing those pretty wholesome bowls where it's just a lot of vegetables, a whole grain, maybe some hummus. Just kind of a good veggie meal for dinner. All right, so y'all are probably gonna make fun of me for the amount of things that I buy that's kind of pre-made, but it really does make a whole lot of difference when you're pressed for time, which for this week, I definitely am. I almost wasn't gonna shoot this video, but I promised you guys I would last week, so here I am doing it. But it just makes it easier, cuts down on prep time, cuts prep time in half, really. You just put it on a plate. But I've been getting these pre-hard-boiled eggs at Whole Foods. They're in the section with all the pre-made foods like chicken salad, salmon, and other entrees like that. And what I love doing is just putting a couple of these on a plate with half of an avocado and some mixed berries or some fruit and have that for breakfast. And I'll top the eggs and avocado with the Trader Joe's seasoning I mentioned in the last video I posted. And it's a great breakfast, got a lot of protein, but I waste no time in the kitchen. I don't have to saute anything. I don't have to clean up any dishes, just one. I don't have to clean up any pans. It's really great if I'm hurrying in the morning and want to add protein to my breakfast. So love these. Let's see what else. Okay, tomatoes. So I primarily use tomatoes in dishes that I'm making, like zoodles, which I'm probably going to make for dinner tonight. Just to kind of create a simple marinara sauce. So I'll throw a couple of these, dice them up, throw them in a pan with onions, garlic, olive oil, a little Cholula, salt and pepper before tossing in the zoodles. It's a great natural sauce. You know it's Whole30 because it doesn't have any additives in it. It's delicious. But I also use these, slice them up, and just eat them raw with some salt and pepper, especially if I'm eating avocado or I sort of just want the vibe of a sandwich but don't want to eat bread. I have the turkey, I have the lettuce, I have all that, and then I have slices of tomato. But tomatoes are always great to have on hand. All right, we've got some apples in here. They didn't have enough of the Honeycrisp, which is what I usually get, so I have 2 different kinds here, but apples are solutions to 2 of my problems. One is snacking. So in the middle of the day, if I'm starved and just really need something and water or LaCroix isn't cutting it, then I'll have an apple. This is also the case for dessert. So after dinner, I don't know why, I'm always way more hungry at night than I am during the day. and I'm always craving dessert or some kind of sweet item. And so this usually takes care of it every time. If I'm craving something a little more substantial, I'll throw some almond butter or peanut butter with it. But generally I try and not eat those things just because of the fat content and calorie content in those. But great snacking option to have on hand. And if you've noticed, I also pre-cut these up before I head out on a long flight, because there are always so many unhealthy options on flights at the airport. And if I have them pre-cut, I have no excuse. I eat them. So it's a great healthy option to have on the go too. All right, so okay, we've got some herbs or flavor here. I've got I can't even talk, I'm combining the words. Basil and sage. I use these for two different things. I mostly use this for my butternut squash noodle dish, and I usually use this for anything Italian. So if I'm making cauliflower crusted pizza, if I'm making that cauliflower pasta I always bake, if I make zoodles, anything with a marinara or tomato base or anything like that, throw some basil on it. I just love the flavor, it's so delicious. It's also great with any kind of salad. If you're doing like a tomato mozzarella salad, hearts of palm, all of those ingredients, throw some basil on it. Just love to have flavor. There's nothing worse than a bland meal. But sage is key for that butternut squash noodle dish. All right, next we've got some lemons. So I keep these on hand pretty consistently for drinks, but also for a lot of recipes. For salad recipes like dressings. I'm trying to think what else right off the top of my head. Oh, when I'm roasting vegetables like Brussels sprouts and broccoli, it's really nice to have a fresh squeeze of lemon at the end. Kind of cuts through the saltiness of the salt and sometimes the Parmesan cheese that I put on there. So it just adds a little extra layer dimension. It's always great to have these on hand too, just for drinks, and who knows when you'll need one, but they're in. I feel like lemon juice is in nearly every recipe I make, so. Garlic. Definitely have garlic, always have garlic, never without it. I am totally Monica from Friends, and I put garlic and too much of it in everything. It's my favorite flavor and kind of seasoning, I guess, to put in foods to bring out the flavor. I just love garlic, so all of the garlic. Okay, next, got 2 avocados, which I mostly eat for breakfast because I think it's great to just get some healthy fats right off the bat, especially since I do my hard workouts in the morning. I've got to have my protein, have a little healthy fat for energy, and then fruit because it's sweet. This is something I've been buying more recently just to have on hand, but chicken stock I've been using a lot, not only in just recipes I have, but I feel like it adds more flavor when I'm cooking things like farro and quinoa, just to add a little bit more of a flavor to those as I'm cooking them, because I'm trying not to add cheese as much to everything, and so adding a little more flavor and salt via chicken stock helps a lot. Now, I'm not vegan, I'm not vegetarian, but I don't eat a lot of meat at home, so I feel like it's okay that I'm doing a little bit of this. Okay, almond milk. I don't really drink coffee at all anymore unless it's like a special occasion or I'm walking with a friend or I'm on vacation or whatever, but I like to have almond milk on hand for when, well, I guess it's either way. I like to have almond milk on hand for coffee, tea, if I'm making smoothies. Sometimes I make smoothies, so that's sort of my ingredient for that, so I just always have it. And now I know I just said that I try not to eat a lot of peanut butter or almond butter, but I ran out, and so that's why I have this. But I've just got this home plate peanut butter with honey, which I primarily use for eating with apples, and because I was hungry when I went to the store, I also bought this chocolate hazelnut almond butter from Justin's, which definitely did not need, totally unnecessary, but definitely gonna eat it. Never go to the store when you're hungry. All right, and then something else I've enjoyed, a little snack. It's a low-cal but high-energy snack that I like to have between my 2 workouts. So on Tuesdays, I go to spin class at 8:30, and then at 10 or 11, I have my trainer. So now I'm doing 5 days of circuit training plus 2 to 3 days of spin in there. But the days that I double up, I really need something in between those workouts just to give me an extra boost. And so these Mama Chia chia squeeze vitality snacks are great. I loved making chia seed pudding when I was doing Whole30 last year, and it gave me so much energy for workouts. You feel like Superwoman. It's incredible. I feel like it just totally keeps your muscles going. I don't know how to describe it. It's insane. My flywheel scores were also always so crazy. And so it's a great snack. 70 calories per pack, so really easy, great on the go. You can stick it in your purse, it's really small, and they have a bunch of different flavors, but my favorite flavors are the green and the blackberry one, but I wanted to try a new flavor today because I hadn't seen this before. This is the strawberry banana, so I'm going to try this time instead of the blackberry. But great snack if you're on the go, good for kids too. Not that I have any, but I like them myself. So. All right, so that's it for bag one. Okay, moving on. Now, you've probably seen me mention the Whole Foods salad bar a bunch. I probably eat a salad from the salad bar 3 to 4 days a week just because it's so easy. And I know it's expensive, and I know it's probably better to just buy the ingredients to make the same salad than to buy it from the salad bar. But it's literally like the easiest to just run in there. The store is so close. I just run in, grab it, and go. And it's already prepared. So the salad I get every time is the chili kale. And I looked at the ingredient list when I was there last, not this time, but the last time I was there. And it's basically just olive oil, kale, lemon juice, red chili flakes. And I think that was it. Like, it's really lightly dressed. And so what I usually do is I put some Cholula and extra olive oil on it later once I'm actually eating it, and then mix it up again to make sure it's all fully coated and not looking soggy or anything, because they don't put that much dressing on it, so it's pretty dry when you get it. So I just like to make it a little more dressed, and I usually top it with either green falafel or salmon, which is also in the ready-made section. I'm like the poster child for that, I feel like. But the salmon's really good. What I usually do is add some lemon pepper to it. I love lemon on salmon. Obviously there's lemon on here, but lemon pepper is what I usually coat my salmon in when I roast it. So it adds such a good seasoning to it. I can't even describe it, but I heat this up in the microwave, put it on top of the kale salad, and I'm good to go for lunch or dinner. It's the easiest thing ever. So that's the salad bar items. And today for lunch I had the same salad but with the green falafel on top, and it was delicious. Okay, another thing that I have been trying to do, again, I really don't eat carbs. I don't eat a lot of meat at home. And I also try not to eat a lot of carbs, but in order to maintain my energy, I have to eat one of those things. So if I'm not going to be eating meat, I try to include some kind of whole grain that has protein in it. So like super grains, this is a good mix. It's got red and white quinoa, millet, and buckwheat. So just basically what I do is when I'm roasting those vegetables, I'll prepare this and put a little cup of this underneath and then put the vegetables on top, just so I have a little extra something in there. All right. Okay, when I do buy meat, it's either usually fish, beef, only because the recipes I use call for beef, not because I necessarily love beef, but I guess I do if that's the recipes I'm making. But I also love chicken sausage. So this is if I'm craving a heartier breakfast, or like I said, for dinner, if I don't want to do grains one night, if I maybe had grains for lunch. Then I'll switch out the grains and add a link of chicken sausage in there for some protein. So there are a couple of brands that I use. This is the first time I've actually tried this brand. I got another flavor last week that was pepper jack and jalapeno, which was pretty good. But I really like the, not apple, Adel's. I love Adel's chicken sausage. That's my favorite, and those are Whole30 approved. So if you're on Whole30, check those out. But I'm trying the wild mushroom chicken sausage. That sounded really good and savory to me, so I'm gonna try that next. Okay, now fruit. I love fruit. It's, like I said before, it's a great way, it's a great snack, it's a great dessert alternative. I'm just gonna pull it all out here for you. But I've got blackberries, blueberries, bananas, and raspberries here. I also have mango in the fridge, and I've got my apples. So like I said earlier, I love to do kind of a little avocado, a little egg, and some fruit for breakfast. If I'm wanting something different, I may make a smoothie, which I've put the recipe on my blog before, but it's this Vega protein powder and chocolate, almond milk, ice, and if I'm feeling like I need an extra boost, I'll put some coffee in there too. It's really, really good. But I like to have this on hand for snacking or for breakfast. So lots of fruit. It's gonna be fun when I have to put all this away. Okay, back to the vegetables. So we've got some broccoli here, which would go along with the Brussels sprouts for a veggie bowl, kind of a pretty vegan veggie bowl. Ooh, like my favorite thing ever. Okay, artichoke hearts. If you saw my Insta stories a few days ago, I did kind of a breakfast scramble, which was eggs and this, and they're called Artie Hearts, and the brand is Monterey Farms, but they're basically fresh artichoke hearts, and they're in this vacuum sealed pack, and they have a bunch of flavors. Right now I'm really loving the herbal just because there's already kind of flavor on it, but they have a natural one, so it's just like naked artichokes. They have a grilled one, which is also really good, like for a salad. And then they have a buffalo one, which I've never tried and I'm not sure what I would put that on. But these are really great for throwing in with eggs or that zoodle dish that I've made on here already. I just love them. I think they're so delicious, and the entire package is only 80 calories. So you can eat this whole thing and it's only 80 calories. It's genius. I love artichokes, so I buy these every week. I find some way to use them. Okay, in addition to garlic, I also get a lot of onions because I put them in a lot of things. Eggs, zoodles, really every recipe I make that's Whole30 has onions, like those beef dishes that I was talking about, so always have onions. Now as far as cheese goes, I know I said that I don't eat a lot of cheese, but I do eat cheese. I'm still eating cheese. So goat cheese is primarily for salads. Sometimes I'll put them on the chili kale salad from Whole Foods, but most of the time I just put it in the butternut squash noodle dish, which I've been making so much. So I'll always have goat cheese. And then Parmesan cheese is for the zoodles. It's also for the butternut squash noodles. Sometimes it's just a great added flavor to any of the grains that I make. Just a little bit. Again with the meat, turkey breast, just sliced. I just like to have it to snack on. I don't really make sandwiches or anything. Sometimes I'll roll it up and dip it in mustard to pretend like I'm eating a sandwich. But generally, like I said, I just don't eat bread that much. So just like to have turkey on hand to snack, get a little extra protein. And here comes some noodles for you. These are the company that I use is Veggie Noodle Co. And they're available at Whole Foods, but I want to say they're available at other stores too, like Central Market and maybe Kroger. I'm not really sure, don't quote me on that, but they have the butternut squash noodles, they have zucchini noodles, and now they even have cauliflower rice, broccoli rice. They have a wide variety of vegetable noodle alternatives and rice alternatives. So again, I've tried to cut this, a butternut squash noodle, on my own with my zoodle maker thing. It's impossible, it's so hard. It's easy to do these, which I'm not gonna complain if I have to make this on my own with my own zucchini spiralizer thing. But this, it's impossible. I had a lot of trouble, and I have a pretty nice one. So it's just so nice to have this pre-cut, and I can just throw it in the pan. But I make these, both of these, every week right now. I'm such a creature of habit. And then two of these items I already had in my cupboard, and I just threw them in here, but I wanted to point them out. I put Cholula on everything. I mix it into every sauce. I just love spicy food, so I add a kick. And it's not a spice like Tabasco that adds like a weird flavor to everything. Sometimes I feel like Tabasco, you just know Tabasco's in it. This is more subtle to me, but it does add a kick. Cholula, the original. I also add red chili pepper flakes to everything, so always buy that. Never run out of those. And then finally, the last thing in here is a lot of the recipes I've been making, again with the beef stuff, has had tomato paste in it. And I've noticed that I like the dishes when there's more and more of it. So I always put more than the dish requires, than the recipe requires. I just think it adds more flavor to the meaty dishes. So I've started to buy this pretty often and just noticed I'm out. So had to get that. And that is all my stuff that I got this week. I hope you enjoyed following along on my little Whole Foods haul. Maybe I'll do this again some other time if my diet updates and I get sick of some of this stuff and start making new stuff. But generally, this is what I've been eating lately at home, aside from those Whole30 dishes I make here and there. But these are some staples that I recommend give them a shot. Let me know what you think. And I'll come back soon with another video. Hope y'all have a great week.